Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Top Drive Show. Today's episode will be fairly unique because we're not going to be looking at just one prize car like we usually do in our showcase episodes. Instead, we'll cover three cars that are the most recent sort of prizes for the events running in Top Drive. So that includes the Pagani Zonda 760 RS, which is the prize car for the Tri Series currently running in Top Drives. We'll also have a look at the KTM GT4 Expo Crossbow, which was prize car for the monthly challenge, which ended recently in Top Drives. And then we will also talk about the BMW M3 GTR, which is the current prize car for the Year of the Ox challenge running in Top Drives right now. So I've got Will and John, as usual, with me today. They will cover these three cars with you guys today, and then it will hopefully help you decide whether you want to battle for one of these cars in the Tri-Series finals or in the challenge, or just get more info about the KTM, which has already been given out. So without wasting any more time, we'll give the word to you now.
Thank you very much, Dimitri. So let's start with the Pagani Zonda 760 RS. If it were possible in Top Drives to compete on just how exquisitely finished a car was, the Paganis would win every time. The 760 range, the one-off 760 range especially, they are pure automotive art. But that isn't possible. I don't even know how you'd make that happen. Still, this Zonda with 760 horsepower, 1,210 kilograms of weight, and a 0 to 62 time of 2.9 seconds is very much a car you'll want. Up against the McLaren 12C on the very corner-heavy road course, the Pagani is faster, but it can't pull out much of a lead. The Zonda's extra power, however, does just keep it in front until the end, though. If we try both of these cars on a very different challenge, however, a 1 mile drag race, we get a very interesting result. The Zonda is initially fastest, as you'd expect, compared to the first challenge, but the 12C starts to claw it back, perhaps because it's not as hindered by wings and doesn't have as much drag as the 760. And in the end, it results in a draw. In a race against the more modern and turbocharged Pagani Huayra, the 760 still has the edge. Amazingly, despite being naturally aspirated, it is more powerful. It's also lighter. However, again, with lots of corners on the twisty circuit, the Zonda can't pull out much of a lead over the better handling, more sophisticated Huayra. So the next car we're going to look at is the BMW M3 GTR. This has got to be the ultimate version of what seems like everyone's favourite generation of M3, the E46, which surely is going to make it the most coveted M3 of all. And the M3 GTR recipe sounds amazing. It's a V8 engine and a small, well-balanced E46 M3 body shell. What's not to like? But it would have to be exceptional to be better than the CSL, because that is a car that anyone who's ever driven it, including me, has absolutely fallen in love with that straight-six engine. And you can't imagine ever wanting to replace it with anything, not even a race-derived V8 like this in the GTR. But perhaps it is exceptional. Perhaps it is that much better. However, there are only 10 of them in the world, road cars. So I can't imagine I'll ever be able to get a chance to test it. So let's just assume possibly that it is better. There are only 10 because there needed to be 10 so that BMW could continue racing the GTR in the AMLS series, the American Le Mans series, because it started racing and there were disputes as whether or not it was really eligible, because there was no such thing as a V8 powered M3 at the time. It wasn't until sort of the later generation where there was a V8 powered M3. So BMW hastily built 10 in 2001 so that the car would be eligible, and thankfully it did, because the M3 that year won the AMLS series. But the year after, the rules were changed, and BMW would have to have built hundreds of GTRs to make sure that it continued to be able to race, and they didn't fancy doing that, so they pulled out of the series afterwards. However, the GTR was still available to race elsewhere throughout the world, including the N24, and in 2004 it won that race. So, as an N24 winner, let's see how it competes on the section of the North Loop in the game. And let's put it against another German racing icon, a 1973 Porsche 911 RSR. The more modern, more powerful M3 pulls away initially, but throughout the corners, the lightweight Porsche does manage to stay close. However, the M3 stays ahead and has a pretty comfortable lead. It's always fun to see just how well a proper race car does against a full-on ballistic Caterham like the R500. As you might guess, the Caterham pulls out an initial lead, being super lightweight, amazing 0 to 60 time. However, on the fast circuit with its big straights, the GTR is back on top of the Caterham, even by the first corner, and then by the next straight pulls out an even bigger lead. Plus, as the GTR has got proper race car handling and downforce, it is more than a match for the lightweight Caterham in the corners and keeps its lead throughout until the end. Right then. Well, with that done, I'll pass you over to Johnny to talk about the next car. Thanks.
Thanks, Will. So much prize car action going on. And we're now on to the third one, which is the KTM Crossbow GT4 version, 2016 model. And this was we've got a few variations on the Crossbow in Top Drives. This was the FIA homologated racing version of it. Competed and probably still competes sort of pretty successfully around the world. Has taken a few sort of championship wins. It's sort of quite distinctive compared to the other versions in that it's they're all basically sort of open topped, and this is for the racing with that big air scoop. They've gone. It's sort of fully enclosed version, and I think just gives it that plus some pretty extreme aero gives it quite a distinctive look. RQ83, it's I think kind of what sums it up is it's a really good kind of, I'd say sort of all-rounder for kind of dry conditions. It's obviously on slick tires, so you need to be careful where you use it, but just a good all-rounder. So it's not an amazing top speed. And okay, not 60 or 3.7 seconds, but really it's just a very solid MRA, great handling, 95 handling, and it's also light, with it being that sort of bespoke race car. And I mean, the Crossbow is not a heavy car anyway, so it just gives it's just got a good good suite of stats to use. If I just go on and have a quick look at kind of how it stacks up, sorry, I'm just finding the footage of it. But yeah, no. So to begin with, I thought put it into its usual habitat on the racetrack, fast circuit, up against the Megane Trophy, also I think known quite a lot as the Banana. Obviously very similar. You can actually see if I run this now, that it's a close race, very, very close off the line. It's a very similar kind of 0 to 60. The handling obviously tells in the first corner, but the Megane has got sort of longer legs than it, higher top speed, longer legs, closes it back up on the straight. But it's just that handling, a fairly close race, but the Crossbow takes that. And then if we switch things up, we go a little bit retro, bring out the kind of 917 Porsche. And I think here you can just, gonna go back to our old favorite, the Slalom, that I think it just highlights the combination of that lightweight and that handling. So, the 917 is a another sort of lightweight racing car. And it is a very, very tight race, but it's, up against, it's quite a fearsome opponent through a dry slalom, but the Crossbow GT4 takes it. And I think just highlights kind of anything with kind of tight turns, tight twists, so kind of any of the kind of G-force tests, any of the slalom tests, it's right up there. It's quite a competitor. So good luck battling out for that, and I will hand it back to Dimitri.
Well, that's it for today, guys. Thank you very much, Will and John, for joining me today, as usual. I'm wishing you guys good luck in the Tri-Series, and hope you can get your hands on the Year of the Ox prize as well, the M3. It looks pretty nice, pretty awesome car, and it's going to be a nice addition to any of your garages. As usual, don't forget, guys, to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content, for more showcases, live streams, and other content that we do here. and follow our social links to make sure you do not miss any news about top drives in the coming weeks and months. So, yeah, good luck, and I'll see you in the next episode then. Bye bye.